Now they ban away Shen. Don't want to deal with that.
I think that's a really good ban. I think of all the adaptations you could have made, that's probably one of the better adaptations. The Shen is just so good for a team like RRQ, who loves to play all over the map, control the pace, control the tempo, and fight you everywhere. But with that said, the opener is going to be the same. Lucian into cocky Kha'Zix again. We're going to see a run back.
I'm sorry to say, you don't get to see what you wanted to see. You don't get to see something different. We do end up with the run back. So
I can't really fault them, though.
Something that's strong. USG looking to really double down.
Really?
Now with no Shen. Now with no Shen.
But there is still a Zed, and at the end of the day, the Zed Kha'Zix is still such an issue for them to deal with. I really didn't mind the Lucian Lee Sin run back, but the Veigar run back into the Corki, I get it, but you saw how much problems you would face against the Kha'Zix, against the Zed. Sure, there's no Shen, but that's still gonna be an issue.
You gotta think about what happens here. If USG loses, double elimination means they drop down. They're gonna have to face off against an opponent in the lower bracket, and then at that point,
it's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be tough. And you couldn't face off against the same opponent like you did in the first stage.
Exactly. What I do like from RRQ, what an adaptation they made here. The ban on the Wukong, I think that makes a lot of sense here. The Wukong was very annoying for them. It was something they constantly had to keep in mind, and it was another piece of the puzzle which disrupted their mobility. I think that's a good ban. I think the Stone Skin passive is really annoying against the Kha'Zix, against the Zed as well. So let's see what barrel lane option USG is going to go for here. Do you have any more tricks up your sleeve?
And that's the kind of stuff that USG does so well. They have these kind of like trick options. They were ones to play the Nunu a lot before other regions started to recognize how strong it was. And even after it had taken a bit of a dive, they still wanted to try and play for options like the Nunu, go for stuff like the Jarvan. I see that a lot in the way that they try and approach the picks and bans, still going for some relatively unconventional picks. The Wukong now no longer up. They do get rid of Exorcin's set though, and so this does whittle away the pool slightly. RRQ have the Gragas.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He's more comfortable on the Gragas if anything at all. He's played so many games on that Gragas. You know he's a master at it, and I want to see what USG really have as a solution here. What's your support option? What's your barrel lane option? Garen is good. Garen won't die in a side lane to Kha'Zix Zed. That's a good start here, especially with the Darius being banned away. That's one less counter pick you have to worry about. But Devil J, he plays that Akali. You might want to pull it out here. Triple Assassin is a very RRQ thing to do.
Yeah, interesting choice here to go with the Galio. Going into this one, you have a lot of tanks, you have some damage, but it seems to kind of fall off. Apart, going into like the late game, it's really just going to be down to the Veigar. But this is a good point with the Veigar. In an even scenario, that Veigar can scale.
The Veigar definitely can scale. You have enough tools around it as well. That makes a lot more sense. The Renekton, a staple, comes back in here for Devil J. It's one of his most played champions as well. I'm a bit curious about the Galio pick here. I feel like this one doesn't really have the best game. You don't really have too many tools to deliver you. It's just a Lee Sin. You want to use the Galio out defensively. It's also hard because the champions on RRQ side are so slippery. They're never going to hard engage you full on, head on. They're just gonna dive in and out, and Galio kind of has a hard time against that.
Okay, I will say this though. Event Horizon means they cannot run away, which means your taunt should land.
In theory, that's true.
In theory. And it is one of the things that it's a relatively obscure interaction because
the best of the best.
There we go. As we go into game number 2, here we have it. USG move into the blue side, but it's RRQ standing ahead with the 1-point lead.
And RRQ, they're looking to try to close this one out as well. A very similar draft from both of these teams as to Game 1. And RRQ, they were dominant in the Game 1. Let's see what they can do here on the side of USG to try to really just stop that snowball from repeating itself.
Largely still the same, like you've mentioned. What I do like from RRQ here is, look at what's happened. Top side and entirely covered with the control wards. Plenty of vision towards that top end, and they're going to be able to go back, pick up a reset on the control wards, and have new trinkets to be used instead.
I like the defensive control ward on the rip buff of RRQ here. You've got to recognize that Lee Sin is one of the highest. Actually, you know what? He is the highest tempo jungler in the game. You want to stop him from doing these plays so unique to him. Hopping over the wall, stealing away your rip buff, camping for you there. Galio nerf.
Yeah, the Galio nerf starting to hurt a little bit. Would have landed previously, but Nixon just gets to walk away, and a wonderful job done here by Lark against Devil J. Devil J. He's had some good points, but he's also had a difficult series in the past.
Yes.
That difficult series cost RRQ a series in the upper bracket, dropped them down, and so Devil J, I'd say he's been revitalized. You know, he's come back in with solid performance last game as well. Now is his redemption arc on the global stage.
It definitely is. Good trades in the mid lane here from Tatsuki onto Helios. It's chunked down to half HP. They things are looking a little bit better for USG in this game. Lark is not getting bullied out like he was by Devil J in the last game. No dive is going to come in. We're going to see a very even game state. This is good. Things are going well for USG.
Exactly what USG want to play for. In fact, slowly trying to creep up a little bit in gold. I mean, it's not very much. It's still going to be just about that 100.
Yeah.
But better than what we saw last game.
Yes.
In fact, RRQ, they were slowly able to accrue a gold lead just off the farming in the jungle going on, off winning lane. And I said it was a relatively slower game for RRQ. They managed to pick up 3 kills by 4 minutes. That's still a very solid lead.
It is. It's a good lead from them last game. This time around, they won't have the tools to make the same leads happen. Think about how those leads happened in the last game. Devil J was winning lane. Exosen and Maki found good timings to trade. None of those things are happening this time around. It's going to be a very even game state. And I believe, unless something happens right now, going to the Dragon spawn, well, Tatsuki saw him with control one.
Yeah, good awareness with the vision control there.
Yeah.
Being able to spot out Chaz. Chaz is going to walk over trying to assist Helios clearing out the wave. Don't want your mid laners shoved in. That's not a good spot to play from.
Yeah, well, job's still done. He shoves out the wave. He gets the scuttle. He gets his second round of objectives. Or rather, jungle cams being spawned up here. So he's going to be able to clear this one out. No issue. He just wants to farm. He just wants to scale.
Starting to hunt around, looking for an opportunity there, but it's going to be difficult. They have some crowd control towards the bottom side, but that's really the only place he finds crowd control.
Yeah, pretty much, right? I mean, you do have the Renekton here, who has the ability to Ruthless Predator, stun you up, point and
Well,
click.
that's for RRQ. Mai doesn't have that. He has Garen, who has
you
no
talking about
stun.
Mai?
Yeah, Mai
Well, I kind of just forgot about Mai. Given how things played out last game, it was not a great start from him. You got to keep in mind, a lot of his Dragon's Rage were used defensively as well. Here's the Exhaust.
Well, there we go. The start of the end, perhaps, for USG as Helios.
That damage was with Exhaust, by the way. With the Exhaust on Helios, chunked Tatsuki down to this little HP. Helios is just doing a very good job, like Hell's Devil pointed out as well, just forcing out spells, forcing out timings with the use of that ultimate.
Okay.
And the dive comes in.
Dominus comes in, as like you mentioned, you have the Ruthless Predator, and you dive them on the turret, a leap and a kill.
Boy.
Going over to RRQ. First blood over to the red team.
And you just know Exosen is going to be there as well. You just know he's going to be waiting in the wings. Look at the clock, Grandin. 3 minutes, 40 seconds. This is the timing. This is the timing window we've been talking about. This is when the teams go for the first ultimate play. That means that when you go to the Dragon, when you go to the Rift Herald, your ultimates are all up again. You get 2 plates here. You chunk. I think it's a
turret.
No
this
way.
was double cannon wave.
Okay, then. Well
double
done.
cannon wave gets a kill. Helios is going to walk over. In the jungle, Mai's there as well.
Mike could kill him. Mike could kill him 100%.
But you have to worry about the ultimate. How long is it before it comes back up?
I think he got a bit of trauma, right? Like, it's still a while before the out comes up, but you got to keep in mind what Helios was doing to USG last game.
Absolutely.
Probably put a bit of doubt in the mind of Mai. Like, is this out up again? Maybe?
With how short the cooldown is in the late game, you'd think that the early game was
it kind of throws you off a little bit there. Well, Tatsuki does have the Howlbreaker that is good against the Zed here because you really are just a lot tankier. You won't be able to just one-shot you free.
I do want to start talking about first spawn coming in here as USG and RRQ get to start making their way over with the package towards the objective of their choice. But RRQ have now managed to pick up their 1,500 gold lead. Well, you walked in my jungle last time. We're going to punish you this time around. Diving into the back, they're trying to take out Kaz. Tatsuki is just going to be a nearby collateral. But RRQ happy with the jungle pickup onto the Dragon.
Yeah, I don't think they can contest this, but they're trying.
Flash body slam, that's another kill. They take down the Galio, Kaz is out. Tatsuki follows soon after. And you've got the cage,
Look at Devil
but
J.
what does this stop? It doesn't stop the Ruthless Predator over the wall. Devil J's right in your face.
And this is my critique of USG. This is why I watched their VODs and I had huge doubts of how this matchup against RRQ would play out. We didn't get to talk about it last game because RRQ just stomped them. But USG sets up objectives so slow. They stroll around the river.
Oh my, Devil J.
I mean, consolation prize here going over to USG. But the crux of the problem lies in how they set up their objectives. They do not approach it as a team. They do not shove out the mid waves. My strolling around, and even when your jungler's dead, you can't contest. You're still walking in. What's going on here?
He's shopping for a pickup. Exosen's so tanky. Once you have the Gargoyle Stone Plate, you cannot deal with him. You have to execute out from Chaz, kick away from Mai to keep Helios at arm's reach. But it's still ripped out over to RRQ, and they get to walk around happy, I guess.
They get everything. The only thing they lose is the life of Devil J, but that's fine because he's coming right back in it here with Exosen in S backup.
Yeah, Exosen in tow. Devil J gets to walk in onto Lark.
Nice.
A difficult spot to be in. Flash away from the Garen.
I really like that. I really like Devil J holding his Ruthless Predator to wait out the Garen W. And I also like the timing on Lux Flash. Good mechanics all across the board. But that's the only good thing I can say here. That's really just about it.
For RRQ to get to slow things down a little bit again. We saw what happened last game. They really just only have to wait for Helios to start doing damage. Once he's able to be a big backline threat to Tatsuki, to threes. Even to mine, realistically. Seeing the build we have at least in right now, it's only a matter of time. Exosen's been kind of caught out. But it's really just trading across the board.
Yeah, he's going to be good to go here. Trees does not really do damage at this point in the game. Viga's a champion that needs to scale well. Lock. Trouble again.
Used here. Double J is getting caught out of position. He's been silent, so it's going to be difficult to play away from this position. Mai still has Dragon's Rage, gets to pick up the kill. Chaz trying to run his way back on the turret, but he's being kited and pulled into position. Taunt comes across, but it's 2-shot duration and 3. He's looking for the cage, but a stun does not manage to land.
And Chaz is so sneaky with his movement in the bush as well. He tries to juke them out, but there was water in that. It's okay though, because they lose Devil J, but Helios is exerting pressure on the side waves.
Gets up a little bit of damage onto the turret. Chaz has that mid lane secured for his team, likely with the Rift Herald.
He won't be able to get the turret, but it will be extremely low.
That'll be pretty close, and Mai's in a spot of trouble here.
If Mai had the cake, he would have solo killed Chaz.
Right.
Helios, though, waiting for the timing. He wants to see if Mai face checks him. Nice from Mai. Good presence of mind. He knows where Helios is.
A dive towards the bomb side. Body slam does not manage to connect, but you still have that exhaust coming through. Tatsuki going to unleash the culling onto Exosen, but a flash away.
No.
The Gragas means a kill, not to USG.
The fights just don't stop.
You don't die for your support. Your support dies for you. That's how it goes here. Chaz goes down though in the mid lane.
No.
You will die for the mid lane turret. Devil J pops his ultimate. Things are looking scrappy. This is RRQ in a nutshell, and USG here to punish in the mid lane.
RRQ getting a little bit clumsy right now in the mid game, and USG capitalize on that. They get the kills onto important targets, and that's the third death here for Devil J. Chaz drops, Marky drops. That stalls their scaling, that stalls their tempo. Luckily for RRQ, there's no objectives on the map, but that's gonna be a nice little goat swing here for USG.
I mean, it is exactly like we've said. USG has a way to mind control RRQ, get them in on these fights. I mean, pull them in. Look at this, look at this. On the turret here, they're like, oh yeah, we killed threes here, for sure, definitely, guys. Then Devil J's walked up, gets tagged by the Galio ultimate.
Yeah, they definitely dived a little bit too deep. That the Galio's starting to make sense. It's a good counter engage against RRQ, who frankly been diving extremely deep in the last 2 games. Last game and this game included. Well, let's see the scaling factor. I want to talk about that for a little bit here. You got to keep in mind, there is the Garen, scales extremely well. There is the Vigar on the side of USG, but RRQ will outscale you on the side lane. They will be able to just split the map. So it's really a tale of 2 different team comps.
And it is worth mentioning that Marky did go down to Tatsuki in the side lane there.
And Marky's build as well, very different from last game. No Essence Reaver. He's going for a bit more of a tank shred build. Monomune, Divine Sunderer, he's trying to take down Locke. He's trying to take down Cass, which is a very intelligent call because he knows his assassins can't do that. So he has to do it.
Dragon coming up in half a minute. Rift Tunnel coming up in less than 10 seconds. It's down to these teams to decide what they want to try and go for. Chaz with plenty of damage on the objective. USG now. Very small gold difference as Mai starts to walks into the Ruthless Predator, but Mai will still be able to get away. Knocked back by Exosen in the back line by the explosive cast. Now the exhaust onto the Grags, but he gets to walk away scot-free. USG expand not too much so far.
Look at Helios.
Get to go for the re-engage.
Look at Helios!
Coming in with the calling, they manage to jump in, steal away the Rift Herald, and Chaz won't be able to get in, but Helios over to the back, tries to take out Mai, he moves back in. No Galley ultimate for you, Kaz, you're taken out! Exosen takes the full Brown to lock ultimate, but it's Chaz to clean it up, a triple kill, and a prime gaming ace for RRQ.
And RRQ say, you want to steal our Rift Herald, you really want it? Fine, we'll just kill you all instead. 5-0, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. When you play against USG, they are so slow on the setup. They just walked into RRQ, so desperate to steal away the Rift Herald, and that's gonna cost them everything. 5 kills, mid-tier 2, Dragon number 2, and RRQ, just like that, they are back in it.
You're not dropping bars here, Omo.
What can I say? Lil Omo here on the track.
And RRQ on track to win this one as well, as we take a look at the Coca-Cola pop-off.
That's exactly what we talked about, right? USG's just so desperate for the Herald. They just tunnel vision, run into the river. We didn't set up. We didn't do our due diligence. Now we get punished. RRQ collapse on you from every single angle. Just like a wave, just like a tide rolling in. USG just gets slaughtered. Nothing they can do here.
Helios walks in and out like the true assassin that he is.
They're just chilling.
And it's not
The players are excited, but the coaching staff, they are chilling.
And that's the way it's gonna be with RRQ. They know going into this one, they have plenty of confidence. They heard the Icon song. One of the first last, like, you gotta have confidence.
I have a confession for you here, Grandin.
Yeah.
I have not heard the Icon song.
Really?
Yeah. Nah.
Did you not play at the start of the show?
I wasn't listening. I had my AirPods in, you know, doing my thing.
Fair enough.
Pre-fight routine and everything.
Getting hyped up to watch these team fights. You know, you gotta refresh your mind. With RRQ, it's always so messy, it's always so crazy. You gotta know what to expect.
You gotta know what to expect, and RRQ, you know what you're expecting right now. Cross-map plays. They say, sure, you want to make a play towards our top side, you drop the Rift Herald. Fine, we'll just take your bottom lane then. And Garen's coming in, Locke's coming in. He's learned his lesson. Fool me once. I'm not gonna check that bush again.
And the best part is, there really isn't anyone there. Instead, it's going to be Kaz that's going caught out. Helios is off by himself right now, but he's going to be tagged out with XSN pretty soon. Mai up to the top end along with Tatsuki. They're just trying to keep that turret from going down. USG trying to take it down for themselves with that Rift Herald.
And I do not envy our observers right now. Which team fight do you look at? There's always multiple team fights happening across the map. Kaz gets caught, Rift Herald top. What are we looking at here? And RRQ, the players as well, USG, just so hard to keep track of what's going on the map, but they're making it work.
You kind of can't go wrong by looking at Chaz, right?
Sure,
If you're following Chaz, you kind of cannot go wrong. He was like 7-0 last game.
Oh my god, Maki!
5-1 this game.
Maki, you savant! The tank killing build for Maki! Manamune, Divine Sandra, Leandri's Torment. Chef's kiss right there. This is the perfect build for Koki as kind of like a hybrid build to kill tanks.
And USG, they're going to start to feel that power as Marky starts to walk in now. Doing some damage. USG just have perfect control. Start to dash in. The taunt comes in, but they managed to isolate off their first target. Threes has gone golden to try and buy some time, but executed here by Marky. The ultimate comes back in from Kaz. He dives in, but there's no one there waiting. RRQ have already gone away. They've repositioned. They're chasing after Devil J. XSN still there watching. Malak, the only one left alive in the Valkyrie here. RRQ look to finish off this kill. It's Helios on his heels.
They don't want the end. They want to kill Locke. And RRQ, bloodthirsty as always. They set up the Death Bush. You face check them. Axel gets a fantastic engage off. And Devil J in the backline as well, tanking up 5 members of USG for so long. Because of that chase, I don't think they can end.
Well, that is the second or third Prime Gaming ace of the game.
Yeah.
So RRQ, they're going to be happy about that.
Not a 5-0 this time, but a 1-for-5. Basically the same thing here. Man, RRQ, they're looking so good, aren't they?
Absolutely. Really adapted so well to the upcoming changes in the new meta. I have to say, USG definitely had their preparation as well.
Sure.
Going in with Lucian, we saw the same thing happen against Stamina and JD Gaming. But Lucian, it just seems like RRQ right now, a little more free-flowing.
Yeah.
They've got the Zed, they've got the Kha'Zix.
RRQ really just do what they want to do, but they do it so well. They're so good at cross-mapping, they're so good at skirmishing, their fundamentals are solid, and you know their mechanics are great.
And now I'm really curious how it's going to go with USG against the
fight's coming.
Beautiful leap to get away from that initially. Dominus comes in, the Exhaust is going to prevent Devil J from getting into the fight.
That's the annoying
thing. Angle in. He's gone on to threes, and there's so little that you can do as a Vega. You rely on your team, but Helios has been executed. You have to watch out for Locke's positioning. He still gets taken down. Marky gets the kill credit for that one. They go into the mid lane. The fight continues there. Tatsuki starts to flash away. A beautiful knockback out from XSN as the ultimate from Kaz. The heroic entrance starts to make the difference for USG. But RRQ ignore all of that as they start to walk in on the Nexus. You go golden to try and live, but RRQ take you down and onto the Nexus, and it's just down to Threes and Mai to make a play.
Trees and Mai trying to be the heroes here, trying to save the day, but Vega!
And it's working! Marky's gonna go down, Chaz is still alive here, the wave starts to come in, but 15 seconds left on the cast. The only support you're gonna get is from the Galio. Chaz wants to clear out the wave, but there's no isolation, no additional damage. Mai clears it out, and USG hold on.
They hold on to fight another day, and it's all thanks to that Vega pickup here. Just stalls the push, stops them from coming in any further. You do not want to be diving into a Vega. Not in his own base, that's for sure. USG, they survive, but they're gonna lose another dragon here, granted. RRQ still in full control.
RRQ just need that big push into the mid lane. They still have some work to be done on the sides. Top side, tier 2 still up. Bot side, tier 2 still up.
Oh my god. Maki, you're just building the perfect item every time. I love you, man. Voice stuff, off, fantastic stuff. A lot of magic damage, a lot of poke. But the Dragon gets started out for USG.
They know what they need to do. Kaz is going to have to start moving in. Kaz and Chaz, well, that's a mouthful. But RRQ very happy with how this fight's starting to play out. A beautiful ultimate going to be used by Exodus.
That's good,
Not
Chaz
them away,
down.
but Lockcast managed to take down Chaz. Item pick up here as RRQ start to dash in.
Look at Marky.
With their full power package set and delivered on time. Marky's going to make sure that you get that one. And RRQ with a big double for Marky and over by the back. Threes is still alive. But the question is, really is, how much longer?
And this Viger is so annoying, but he can't do anything.
Does not manage to land the big one. By Exorcist, he's still gonna walk in. The auto attack surely lands. Gets the stun onto Marky.
And that's it, right? That's about it. It ends with a whimper, not with a bang. But RRQ, at the end of the day, they close it out yet again.
It's down to Kaz and Lark. I don't want to quite call it just yet, but Chaz has already picked up the teleport, so maybe I should. RRQ walking on the base as Kaz gets the taunt off onto the Exo, trying to prevent them from getting in onto the Nexus. Lark still coming through with the damage on the minion wave, trying to trim it out as much as he can. And maybe it was for the best.
Okay.
Trust my instincts.
Okay.
RRQ, back away.
You know better than Chaz. Who would have thought here? He refunded the TP. They're just going to play it safe. You won the 2-0. You want to move on to the winner's match. You don't want to risk a chance at losing the game. Though with that said, I mean, I think the chances of losing this one for RRQ are pretty slim. They're going to just camp for the Dragon right now. They're not going to risk anything. I like this from RRQ. Patience.
But it looks like Marky
The
might be caught
nerf,
out. That's the nerf! That's the nerf in play. Kaz doesn't get the taunt onto Marky. In fact, bends his flash to get the...
Heartbreaking.
You just needed it a second longer. Half a second longer, in fact. What the hell does Devil say? 0.1 seconds.
That's really all it
Crazy
takes.
play.
Well, the Dragon has been picked up by Chaz right now, level 15. It's not really too much I think they can do, and he's a bit too far out. Wrong way!
Looking for the catch onto the Lee Sin. He already used his ultimate, and so it's an easy kill and execute out from Chaz.
Man.
Just has to use his flash to get there. You have to worry about Devil J off the bot side here as well.
And they have Devil J here with the Howlbreaker with 3 cannon creeps. Locke has to go back, and they've started Baron as well.
Oh my goodness, looking for the turn here. Tatsuki, he's trying to deal with Helios. The ultimate out for the Galleon to try and reposition, maybe help him against the Assassin. Chaz still over by the back. You've managed to take the Kazakhs on, but he still gets away with the lead. And now Devil J into the fray, onto the Vega, onto threes. Will take him down. Lark, the last sole surviving member as RRQ will finally close this one out. 19 minutes into the game. Nexus in their sights and the series win to RRQ.
And RRQ definitely had a bit of fun in this one, but still so slick mechanics, so good on the map. They will just run you around. You're not going to know what they're going to do, because sometimes I think they don't know themselves. They just keep you guessing. They outplay you at every turn. And is this not a team that you just love to watch?
Oh, absolutely. They managed to make it fun, always making the wild choices. And I love that about this team.
I truly do as well. They are just the definition of Wild Rift, a quintessential fight team. They will just fight you. We will outplay you. And what I really want to see is I want to see RRQ face up against a WCK team. I want to see them face up against a WRL team. I want to see how the clash of styles there are going to work out. Because, man, I'm really loving how RRQ are looking right now.
Here's the thing, Omo. Teams will play Kazakhs.
Every team will
play Zed.
Yes.
But it's RRQ that will pull it off and make it look this good, this aggressive, this wild.